Bowles.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is the juvenile detention docket for November 10th, 323rd District Court. As a reminder to everyone before we get started, if you're going to be on here, I need you to be seated still. Whoever is on here with the iPhone that's walking around, it got bluish gray paint on the walls and a white ceiling, you need to sit still and announce your name, who you are. Your name has to be on the screen. You need to connect to your audio also. If you do not tell the court who you are, then I have to remove you and you can watch on YouTube. I'm going to need you, whoever on that iPhone, the blonde with the red glasses on, to connect with audio.
So they identify themselves. I can bring the juvenile out. Unless the judge says otherwise.
I'm going to go ahead and put you in the waiting room until you figure out how to work that because it's distracting. Also, as a reminder to all, we are live streaming on YouTube because we are still under emergency orders that were issued by the Supreme Court of Texas due to the coronavirus pandemic. We're not allowed to have in-person proceedings. We were instructed to conduct proceedings remotely unless it's not possible. And so when we do that, we have to use Zoom as our virtual courtroom. And that is why I've said that everybody, and Judge Kim has ordered that everyone needs to sit still and have your identification on your Zoom screen as far as who you are, and have a quiet background because this is a virtual courtroom. And so we're also instructed to somehow live stream to the public or broadcast so that the public can see what's going on in the court. And no one may record, copy, or redistribute any portion of these proceedings. The violation of the court's order may result in a finding of civil and or criminal contempt. And so with that, are we ready over at the Tarrant County Jail?
We're ready, Your Honor.
I'm present, Your Honor.
Hi, Ms. Perkins.
Good morning.
No, they're back in the waiting room, but until they identify themselves, they're not coming in. I know they could hear me. I just don't, you know, they didn't have their audio connected so that they could talk. So I don't know if there's a way, Mary, you could send them a message. Are you on here, Mary, as your name, or are you on here? I'm going to co-host you because I can't do all this. That way you can message the person in the waiting room, tell them they have to connect to audio or they're not coming in and they have to identify themselves. All right. Mr. Bowles, I'm Judge Terry. This is your 10-day detention hearing. You know, the purpose of this hearing is to determine whether I can release you to a parent or guardian or if I should keep you detained. And I see you are detained at the Tarrant County Jail. Let me just get caught up. You're 17 years and 17 months old. You came back in on October 5th on a DTA. All right, so back in November of 2018, you were adjudicated for aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. Placed on a 10-year determinate sentence with 5 years probated. In May of 2019, you were adjudicated for robbery and committed to an indeterminate sentence in TJD or order that your determinant seat revision and the first cause number from 2018 remain in effect. You were paroled in May of this year from TJD. Oh, that's right. I saw you a few weeks ago. All right. Officer has had time maintaining contact with the family, and I believe that's probably why the DTA was issued. Officer had not had contact since August 31st of this year. Your grandmother, who you're paroled to, said she could not deal with your behavior, using drugs, doing what you want. Apprehended on the 30th of September at your grandmother's home. Right, TJJD has a hold on you.
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Mitchell said that they. Oh,
what's that?
I was going to say, I believe that the TJJD hold has been removed. Is that correct, Officer Mitchell?
Yes, it was removed yesterday.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask. And what's with the CPS situation?
The CPS was just trying to locate him after he left his grandmother's house initially. And once he returned to his grandmother's house, they still had a hard time locating him. As a matter of fact, the day he was arrested, it was the CPS investigator trying to locate him who actually notified the police that he was back at his grandmother's house.
Okay, great. Well, I mean, Mr. Bowles, I don't know. I'm just looking at your history with us since 2014, 2016, 2018. Just next leveled everything in 2018. You are set for determinant sentence modification on the 10th of December.
Well, and I'll speak.
It depends on if Ms. Perkins would like you to speak or not.
If he wants to speak, I'd rather do a breakout room first.
Okay, I'm not going to allow a breakout room today. I don't have the time for that, Ms. Perkins, with everybody on here. But I'm sure that you could contact him somehow, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you feel that there's something that needs to be brought to the court's attention, obviously you can do that.
I'm sorry, Miss Judge.
Yes. Oh, that might be, is that grandma or what? Who is
Yes,
that?
that's his
That's
grandmother.
his grandmother.
Okay, are you Mr. Bowles' grandmother?
Yes, I'm grandma.
Okay.
Can y'all not put him out on a monitor?
Well, you know, I don't know, because I mean, you got a violation of a court order previously.
I guarantee he won't take it off. He won't. He's had him on before. There was no problem.
The judge can send him downtown for a reason, or just because he's on parole and probation and decided to? Okay. Ms. Perkins, was he taken? Let's see. Oh, that's right. He was transferred to Tarrant County Jail.
And Judge, I did know where he was, because, you know, I called his probation officer and let her know I kicked him out because of we couldn't get along.
Well, I'm told that you kicked him out because he was doing whatever he wanted to and he was using drugs still.
They never tested him for that.
Okay. Mr. Mitchell, is there a way we can arrange for him to be tested?
I have no idea the protocol of getting tested in the jail, but he's probably going to come out clean because he's been in there for over a month.
And Mr. Mitchell, he was always clean on the first thing.
Ma'am, so you're telling me what you said to what Mr. Mitchell's report, that you said that he was using drugs. Is that true or not?
That was reported to his parole
I
officer.
never saw him.
You didn't say that to his parole officer? But did you say, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you tell his parole officer that he was using drugs?
No, I told her he's acting a little bit different and he might be smoking some pot, but I did not know because I did not see him do it. And there were no drugs in my house.
Well, he wasn't reporting to TJJD like he was supposed to. And he wasn't reporting to our probation department like he was supposed to.
But see, he was reporting to Mr. Mitchell, where he was.
Not for the month of September, he wasn't. So,
the only reason the situation's happened, I guess, because I made the wrong decision.
Okay, well, fact is, he wasn't reporting to either person he was supposed to be reporting to. And so right now I'm hearing like you're not helping him. Part of the reason I want to keep him in is because he's 17 years old right now. And he goes back out and he picks up another offense, then he's back downtown as an adult, okay? I'm trying to protect him from himself right now because I just think he's got a likelihood to reoffend, to be quite frank. And right now he's listening to you kind of enabling him. And so at this point, I do think he's likely to reoffend. I don't think he has suitable supervision at home. And so Ms. Perkins is a very good lawyer, and everything you just said, she can sort out if that's the case, okay?
I've never
so right now, I'm detaining him. Thank you.
No monitor. Please.
To be excused, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
May I be excused as well?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Keenan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Here. All right. All right. Are you Mr. Barbar?
Yes, ma'am.
I am Judge Terry. This is your 10-day detention hearing, and the purpose of this hearing is to determine whether I can release you to a parent or guardian, or if you should continue to be detained. You have the right to remain silent, but if you do speak, nothing you say can be held against you. Any other kind of proceeding, I can only consider it for detention purposes. You also have a right to an attorney, and your attorney is Mr. Mooney, and he is waving his hand up there on the screen. Oh, Mr. Mooney, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Okay.
There you go. Do you see your attorney, Mr. Barbar?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's see. Looks like this is your first 10-day detention hearing. You came in on a DTA on October 26th, 11:10 in the evening. You turned yourself in the lobby at JPD along with your mother, knowing there was an active DTA that was issued on October 5th for you being on abscond status. You left home on September 28th and did not return home until October 26th. Is there a parent or guardian here for him today? I don't see anybody.
I texted her the Zoom link this morning.
Yeah, I don't see anybody. Okay. You've had two DTAs issued earlier this year during one of them was during the shutdown. The other one was right before. You're on probation for criminal mischief from July of 2019. Actually, no, was that extended?
Oh, ma'am.
So did he complete it in September then?
Yes, next year.
Okay.
Oh, this year.
Okay, because the box is checked that he's on probation still. So, all right. He tested positive for marijuana when he came in. He was positive on the 27th and the 30th. Why did he have two?
On the 20th.
of October.
One he refused to give.
Okay.
27.
Because he knew he was going to test positive.
Yes.
Judge, he told me that he was unable to go. He didn't refuse. He just couldn't use the bathroom. And they said, okay, well, we'll count it as a refused. That's
Okay.
What
Well, anyway, he tested positive when he did give a sample. So, okay. He's got a psychological evaluation scheduled for later this week. He's been level 1 accepted. Well, he's not level 1 outstanding. And so, Mr. Barber, I really read that so I could kind of get a handle on where you're at. But what is the behavior level expectation when you're here?
Level 1 outstanding.
Yep, level 1.0. And so you are not there. You're level 1 acceptable as of today. So you're on your way there, I hope. But I am going to keep you detained so we can get that psychological evaluation. You were gone for a month. I don't know what you're doing out there, and your mom's not here today for me to have that conversation with her either. So I have to believe that you refused to accept parental supervision because you were off on your own for a month. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep you detained, and we'll see how you do. All right, thank you, Mr. Barber.
Thanks, Judge.
Level 1.0 and stay there, all right? That way I can let you go, hopefully, the next time.
Can I be excused, Judge?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jada Singleton Davis. Is Ms. Abels here, or Ms. Jacobson, are you stepping in today? Thank you.
I might be stepping in. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Jada. I'm Judge Terry. This is your detention hearing. You have a right to have this hearing within 2 business days of being brought in. The purpose of this is to determine whether I can release you to a parent or guardian, or if I should keep you detained. You have a right to remain silent, but if you do speak, nothing you say can be held against you at any other kind of proceeding. I can only consider it for detention purposes, okay? You also have a right to an attorney, and your attorney for today is going to be Julie Jacobson, and she's here on the Zoom screen. Do you see her? Yes. All right. Let's see. I believe you were brought in on DTA too. Okay. So you've been here less than 2 days. Violation of a court order. You're on probation for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon as of July 1st of this year. On the 5th of August, you were placed on 12 months probation. Actually, the 5th of August. I don't know why these dates are all. Okay. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Then you were enrolled in FPP REACH program on the 8th of September. Since then, you and mom have both made yourselves available for visits and participated appropriately. And then on October 6th, your mom contacted your PO to inform that she confronted you about making attempts to sleep with your older sister's boyfriend, who's 19 years old. Mother reported that as a result of her taking your phone, you threatened to break out the car windows with a brick. Your mom warned that she would call the cops. You left the residence and did not return. When our report was filed with Fort Worth PD, mom has expressed that she did not want you back in the home, and that REACH has begun looking for rental placement facilities. You were picked up by Arlington PD on the 9th of November and tested positive for benzodiazepines. So what date did she leave the house?
On the 6th, I believe. Yes, October 6th.
Okay. Are you mom?
Yes, ma'am, I'm mom.
Okay, okay. So while in runaway status, apparently you spent time with your boyfriend and then an older woman who allows runaways into her home. Same person you were with when you ran away in January. You were discharged from REACH on November 6th. Says you want it, you say you want to continue the program, but mom's reported that she's not willing to allow you home, nor is she willing to do the program with you. Mom, your daughter needs some help. Are you telling the court that you're just kind of giving up on it?
I'm done. I can't, ma'am, Judge. I have been in counseling and trying to get my daughter help since the 5th grade. She's 17 now. Whatever I've done hasn't been successful, and I have done everything. I believe I should have given up a long time ago. But now, ma'am, it's going from bad to worse. And I told her probation officer, when September 8th, whenever we started the counseling and stuff like that, I was like, this is my last option. Like I told her, I need y'all to help us. Like if this not gonna work, like this is it, I can't do it no more. She showed me, ma'am, it's not that I want to give up, but I can't keep helping a person that don't want to, help themselves. She's steady putting herself in situations that can get her killed and us killed too. And the people that she hangs around, ma'am, oh my goodness. Like I couldn't,
you say no more, Mom. I mean, if she's hanging around people who are knowingly letting a runaway into their home, I get it. There's nothing you can compete with that. Here's the thing, Jada, your mom is tapped out. And I think the department's been trying to work with her too the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Jada, you're choosing not to self-help. You're choosing to hang around with people who really don't care about you. They're going to end you. You are going to end up in a horrible, horrible situation. You're testing positive for benzodiazepines at 17. Probably we're using them way before that. Well, I definitely have to keep you here, Jada, because you have told everybody that you are likely to abscond, okay? And you are on probation, testing positive for benzodiazepines. You've only been on probation for a few months. You've blown the rehabilitative options. I don't think I had you, but you know what? You remember when at your adjudication, your disposition, when it was explained to you that about rehabilitation and getting you services while you're on probation? You remember that, Jada? Okay, you've blown that. That was part of your probation because everybody here was trying to help you. So right now you've blown that. And so I need to keep you detained for now. We'll see how you do here and give your probation officer some time to figure out what the next steps should be. All right? All right. Thank you.
I got it. And Jada, as standing in for your attorney, why don't you give your attorney a call after you're done with this detention hearing?
Can you give me? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson.
Let me excuse Your Honor.
Oh, Forgivian Swift is next. Let's see, is a parent or guardian here for Forgivian?
Your Honor, we don't have anybody here.
Okay, thank you. So I think they were here last time, right, Mr. Adeniji?
Sorry, Judge.
What's that? Was mom or dad, mom here last time?
She was.
I thought so.
And I expect her to be here today too.
Oh, well, for Vivian, let me just go through the spiel. Obviously, this is your 10-day detention hearing, and you know I have to determine whether I can release you to a parent or guardian or keep you detained. You have a right to remain silent, but if you do speak, nothing you say can be held against you at any other proceeding here. I can only consider it for detention purposes. And you have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Edzeniji is here. Do you see him this morning? For Vivian, do you see your attorney, Mr. Edzeniji?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Mary, where were my notes? I saw her the last time. I know that this is a... Oh, is CPS here today?
Yes.
Where? Let me, oh, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Right. So, was anyone able to get for Vivian a telehealth appointment of some kind for her mental health issues?
I forward paperwork to her probation officer.
Signing into Zoom.
Yeah, and he was going to request to have her psychological evaluation done while she was in detention.
Okay, Mr. Kroll?
Judge, I'm covering.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Kroll informed me that the problem is the her insurance. There's questions in reference to her medication. So that's where he's at now. So it's just the process of the insurance approving her medication. He said he didn't know if it was, they were not approving the medication she was prescribed or if they wanted the generic. So that's where he's at. And she's supposed to see Dr. D tomorrow. She does have an appointment tomorrow to see Dr. D.
Okay. And so Ms. Thomas, I mean, you're the managing conservator. You guys need to have a team effort here. And so if Mr. Kroll's out right now on vacation, wherever he's doing, I need you to be the one to follow up to make sure to push back at the insurance company.
Yes, ma'am. I wasn't aware, but I will call the superior.
I mean, I'm glad you kept Mr. Kroll informed. So I mean, it's like you guys got to act kind of as one right now, like parents together. Okay.
Yes.
For Vivian, because I really want to get her. She is, and can you tell me where you're at with, I was told last week when you weren't here that CPS was considering an RTC.
Yes, ma'am. We had two possible ones, but right before 10 o'clock, one of the RTC said that they could not address her behaviors. And the other RTC needs to have a second interview with her. And I wasn't aware that he wasn't in this morning. So I texted him to let him know that the people at Blue Bonnet wanted to speak with Forgiven again. Okay. So if I'm coming over there at 1, but if I need to give that information to someone else, I can do that so that they could go ahead and have the second interview with her.
Okay. So Ms. Thomas, my first order of business for Vivian, before we make any decisions at all as to where she's going to be placed and stuff, is going to be to get her medication on and get her balanced and see where she's at then. I can tell you right now, she's not going to do well if she's not on her medication. And there, for some reason, the ball has just been dropped as far as her treatment. Okay. And so I don't want to set her up for failure. Right now, I'm absolutely against her going to an RTC unless, I mean, to me, that's always the last option for the kids. But first step, we've got to get, see if we can get her mental health under control first. And then maybe she would have better options. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
If we send her right now, she's going to end up going from placement to placement to placement. So okay. We need to get her on the medications that we know that she needs, okay. And see how she does after a little bit before we subject her to being judged by an RTC, you know?
Yes, ma'am.
For Vivian, did you have a question?
Yes, I have something to say. So
can you take your mask off? It's hard for me to hear you.
Okay, I have something to say. So my mom, remember when you were saying last time when we were here that if my mom had somewhere for me to go, like I can get my medication, because I seen the nurse yesterday and she said that the prescription didn't go through because they don't know my insurance.
Right, and so no matter where you go, that's going to be the issue. Okay, your insurance. So right now, that's why I've asked Ms. Thomas, and then Ms. Guerrero will tell Mr. Kroll to follow up and kind of push back against the insurance company, find out if they just need to, if the doctor just needs to give you generic or what they're going to cover, because you've seen the doctor's determined that this is the medication you need, and now the insurance company is like kind of like a little roadblock. So give them a little bit to get through that. And I want to set her for next week again, just one more week out, and hopefully we'll have some more answers. Ms. Guerrero, can you tell me why Forgivian's on level 2? Yes. Unacceptable?
Sorry, just give me 1 second.
Okay.
She was placed on a level 2 unacceptable on the 10th. It looks like she was actually confined on the 24th. So she was a level 3 and slowly went up. And then she was a level 2 outstanding on the 26th, and then went to a level 1 outstanding on the 29th, and then back down on the 10th to a level 2. And let's see what happened.
Is it physical aggression? Oh, thank you, Mary.
It seems that on the 9th, there was a few little things that happened. She was slow to comply, verbal altercation with peers. She wouldn't fold her blanket, blurting out, getting up from her seat, arguing with staff. And she was given game restrictions after verbal altercation.
Yeah, thank you. Ms. Mary just showed me the list. So, okay, Forgivian, some of this is you, and some of it is the fact that I know that you need some assistance balancing everything out with your medication. But you've got to do the best you can in the meantime, and hopefully that issue will be resolved before the end of this week. Anything from you, Mr. Adeniji? You're muted.
I thought the mom was going to be signed on now, Judge. She has information she needs to share with the court about the steps she has taken. I've sent her the link about 5 minutes ago.
She's not here, so.
Okay. Because I spoke with Forgiven earlier this morning, and she was telling me about the efforts the mom was making. And I think you captured it very well about the only thing remaining is the issue of the insurance to cover the medication.
And so, Mr. Adeniji, yeah, that's why I've asked Ms. Thomas to stay on top of that. And because we have a script for her now, finally, that was what I wanted to hear today, but I was hoping it would be filled.
Yeah.
So thank you for everyone for making sure that she got that doctor visit and that it was prescribed, and just please stay on top of that. I would hope to hear that she has been taking her meds for days by the time I see you guys on Tuesday of next week.
Hopefully, yes.
All right, so Forgivian, I have to detain you right now until we figure out where we're going to place you. I'm trying to keep you out of an RTC. I need you to do your part, okay? You have a question?
Oh, why can't I just use my mom's insurance and my mom take me to the place?
Your mom did what?
She's asking why she can't use her mom's insurance. Isn't that what they're using?
No, they're using mine. They were saying, right? Yeah, mine are the same. So they don't know my insurance, but my mom has a family insurance, Blue Shield, Blue Cross.
Well, Ms. Thomas, what do you know about that?
I was unaware that mother had insurance that covered Forgiven.
Okay, can you check with mom? Can you connect with mom today? Because if that's the case, that's an easy solution right there.
Okay.
And so that's what needs to be done. Mom had indicated that she was unable to get in contact with CPS. So now that you're here, Mr. Azniji, can you let Mom know they need to touch
That's
base?
why I'm trying to get her on the phone so she can speak. Okay, the judge is asking a question. Can you speak to the judge?
Yes, I can. I was on the Zoom, but it was moved to my network.
Okay, the judge wants to know if your insurance covers forgiveness medications.
I don't know what her insurance covered because Ms. Regina Thomas changed it. It used to cover it. I don't know if it covers it anymore because they.
Mom, CPS can't change your daughter's insurance plan that you have. So I need you to talk, Mom, I need you to get on the phone with Ms. Thomas and work that out. Maybe it's just a matter of submitting your insurance information to the pharmacy, and maybe that's an easy solution if that's the case, okay?
Well, I talked with the pharmacy lady, well, the nurse from the juvenile hall facility, and I gave her forgiveness medical number. Her medical ID number?
No, what the judge is saying, you go to the pharmacy and submit your insurance to get your daughter's medication on your insurance.
I have forgiven insurance.
No, not forgiven, your own.
Forgiven has her own insurance. She doesn't have the same insurance with me.
Okay, does your own insurance cover your daughter?
Oh.
She said it doesn't, Judge.
Okay, well, that's the answer, Forgivian. Okay, your mom said her policy doesn't cover you. She doesn't have you on her policy. So your only choice is to use the one that the state's provided for you. And I've asked Ms. Thomas and now Mr. Krall through Ms. Guerrero to push back and figure out which medication they're going to cover, if they will cover the generic version of the one you're prescribed, or if they will go ahead and cover what you were prescribed, okay? So that's their job to work that out in the next few days. And hopefully when I see you on next Tuesday that you will have already had your medication prescribed and that you've been taking it for a few days, okay? All right.
Can Dr. call it into the pharmacy with me and that way I can go take the card and pick it up? Because if I'm not mistaken, Casey said that he was going to have the juvenile hall doctor write her one out. But if he calls one in, then I can just go pick it up and drop it off. It'll be
okay,
faster.
that's all done. She's late to this, so you guys can explain that to her. All right, but for now, I've signed the order to detain, and we'll set this again for 1 week to see where we're at. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Rudy Valle.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Reyes. Hi, Rudy. This is your 10-day detention hearing, and the purpose is to determine whether I can release you back to mom or if I should keep you here detained. Mary, do you have any notes from me from last time I saw him? I don't remember. I know that you've been doing well. You have the right to remain silent, but if you do speak, nothing you say can be held against you at any other kind of proceeding. You can only consider it for detention purposes. And you also have a right to have your attorney, and your attorney, is Mr. Green here today?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh, there he is. Okay. I think you got a haircut.
Yeah, they made me cut my hair.
I didn't recognize you. Okay.
They decided CJA panel members need to have a more presentable appearance.
Well, let's see. That's good. All right, I was just looking at my notes. I remember I made some kind of deal with you, Rudy. I made a deal that I would consider releasing you at least today, right? Mm-hmm. If you held up your end of the deal. So, Mom, I know you weren't here last week, but what happened was Rudy had been on level 1 outstanding since October 25th, and due to his history, I was not comfortable even considering releasing him at that time even. Just
Correct.
Because of his history. So, and I know you understand that. And so that's why I set it again for today instead of making him wait 2 weeks, because I do want him to know that you know, I'm not just leaving it here and have already judged him on his past behavior as far as detention purposes, you know. But I do have to take note of everything that I do know from previous detention hearings, okay? Yes. So that's why we were here after a week instead of 2 weeks, and he is still level 1 outstanding. Let's see, he's been level 1 outstanding for just over 2 weeks. And let's see, so I guess I should ask Mr. Reyes, what is the longest that Rudy's ever been level 1 outstanding?
Your Honor, the last report that I got from October 25th, I don't see anything new, any
right
thing. That's all I got to see through my system. So I'm assuming that he's still level 1 unless there's
no, he is, but what I'm asking is, I know he's been here in and out for a little while now. What's the longest, if you can look at his history, what's the longest he's ever stayed on level 1 outstanding?
Oh, that I can tell you is 3 days.
3 days is the longest ever?
2 days and a half.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
And he's been on it for 2 weeks this time?
Yes. On the latest one, I don't know if he's been since the 25th on a 1, because I don't have the latest report, Your Honor.
Well, that's what this says to me. That's what the report to me says. He's been level 1 outstanding since October 25th. So I'm just wondering if there's been, basically my question is, has he done this before where he's level 1 outstanding for 2 weeks and then we release him and he comes back in on another offense?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mom, what are your thoughts?
I'm kind of torn. I'm worried because his court date's on December 8th, that when it comes closer to the court date, that he's going to get discouraged and end up taking off again. It's become kind of a pattern.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. This, you know, page 2 is his entire pattern.
That's the only thing that worries me is him taking off again and us not being able to find him, or he's going to come with a new charge like this previous time.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, let me see.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes.
Your Honor, I just got a new referral from yesterday.
That's what I was told. It's not on my report, so tell me about it.
Okay, so this thing happened when he was gone back on the second DTA that he had since he's been with me. After he was placed on probation back on August the 20th with Judge Porter, he was released on probation, extension of probation.
Wait, that happened on August 20th. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Right. So when he was on a DTA, he ended up going to Arlington. This offense happened in Arlington, Texas. So according
what's the date of the alleged offense?
August the 30th.
Oh, so that was before the offense that he got picked up on. So first he went to Arlington, allegedly, and committed a new offense, and then he went to Haltom City. So what happened in Arlington, Mr. Reyes?
So in Arlington, Your Honor, when he was on a DTA, he ended up going to visit a friend, and the victim's father, he reported that Rudy entered into her apartment or home in this case, I'm sorry, through the window about 3 in the morning. And so she allowed him to spend the night there. She fell asleep. And by the next morning, Rudy wasn't there. He ended up taking her cell phone and $100 that she got from her birthday.
This was a friend of Rudy's?
Apparently, Your Honor, yes.
And who does this friend live with?
Rudy, don't talk.
With the father.
Please.
Okay, with her dad?
Right. And this one was a cell phone and $100 bill.
You know, this is something you could consider under 1245 if he is adjudicated delinquent of the instant offense. I don't have a pleading on this.
Yeah, and it's not in my report. I mean, it's just another little thing. And I mean, I don't mean to minimize it because it's not just, you know what I mean? But Rudy, you're up to a whole page now in your offense report of history here, like a whole entire page on this chart of offense dates, violations of court orders, directives to apprehend. Placement search is still in process.
See, Your Honor, this is where I'm getting confused. One judge is saying placement, and then every time we have a detention hearing, it's something new. So I thought I thought they were supposed to, Judge Kim ordered placement a couple of months ago, and it seems like it's not happening.
He ordered a placement search, my understanding. And so they're still in the process of doing that for some reason. Do you know the status of that, Mr. Reyes?
No, Your Honor. As of last week, they're still in process of searching his placement.
Okay. And Ms. Lara, it's because we all have the same offense reports. And so, I mean, it's just to make things clear, Judge Kim did order it because he saw the path that, you know, Rudy's the pattern, right? And so, yeah, it says that the placement search is still in process. You know what has me torn also, Rudy, is that, and so whatever they said about, I mean, yeah, and your attorney's right. I agree that the court can take that into consideration, that new offense that came in at a later time. It doesn't change the fact that you have been level 1 outstanding for 2 weeks straight here. So I get that. What I'm also concerned about, because of your long pattern, I'm kind of, right now, I want to protect you from yourself. Because you do have an adjudication and a motion to modify set for December 8th, right? I have the same concerns your mom has. If I were to release you and you have any hiccups, which your pattern shows that you are likely to, yeah, it's like every few months you can't help yourself, you know, in here is what I'm looking at. I mean, you have gone a long time without any issues, but then when you do, you do. It's a month.
I believe because he was in Clarinda. He was in Clarinda for 8 months, and that's why.
Yeah, that's why that good gap. When he's out, he's just tearing it up. And here's what it is, Rudy. I'm mostly concerned for you that if I let you out, you may blow the option for placement and you may end up in TJJD when it comes time for your final, okay? Rudy, are you paying attention or not? I know you're upset. But right now, I'm trying to keep you out of TJJD. I know it's hard to understand that because I'm saying I want to keep you here. My concern is if I release you, you go out there and start tearing things up like you do, that when you come back for your adjudication, I'm sure it's set in front of Judge Kim, right?
It's in front of you or Judge Porter, Your Honor.
Is it?
I believe you.
Okay.
Don't quote me.
Okay. So Mary's confirmed. She said it's set for contested in front of Judge Porter on the 8th of December. I don't want Judge Porter to send you to TJJD. I want to give you the opportunity to have a placement, okay, to help you and help rehabilitate you there. I'm concerned if I let you out, you're going to continue your pattern and you are going to increase the probability that you would be going to TJJD.
Your Honor, we're really gunning here. I shouldn't use that word. We're pushing for a non-delinquent on the new felony offense here. That's why we've set it for trial.
No, I understand. And I want him to have, you know, I want him to have the, you know, best options available to him, right?
Sure.
Mr. Reyes, how long before the placement search is
Uh,
done? Do you know?
no idea, Your Honor, but I can check again today with the staffing.
Please. I mean, he's doing really well, and I'm concerned that, you know, being here this long doing well, he's going to hit a hiccup, which is going to hurt his placement options. Concerned if I send him home, he's going to fall back into his pattern. Rudy, I'm trying to break the pattern with you. I'm on your team right now, okay? As far as trying to help you. We need to break your pattern.
Your Honor, could we ask for maybe a contingent release, if it would be okay with you? Like if he stays on level 1 till Monday or Tuesday or something, you'd let him go?
I'm considering that because that's not the deal I made with him last time. What I said to him last week is that I remember that I would really consider letting him go home today. And I am, Rudy, okay? I am. And Mom's here, and that's why I asked her what her thoughts are, and I'm kind of thinking the same thing as Mom. And I know Mom's frustrated, she probably wants the placement thing, you know, she probably wants answers for you too, and to move a step in the right direction. And that's what I want too, because you're not getting what you need here, but going home, I'm afraid you might hurt yourself even more right now, okay? Let's do this.
Can I just mention one thing, Judge?
Sure.
So the reason I'm so concerned, this last time when he cut his ankle monitor off, he had somebody that he met in there come in my house. They stole TVs out of my house. And that's when he was with this kid. He got jumped by 20 other kids that got caught on video. And that's when he caught this new charge. It's escalating, and I'm scared he's going to end up in the morgue.
I am too. I know who he's hanging out with. I know who you're running around with.
He's in there. He's meeting new kids, and when he comes home, he talks to them, and they come up with these plans, and now it's to a point where he's bringing them into my home, stealing from my home, putting my other children in danger. I just don't understand why placement is taking so long, because I think Judge Kim ordered it a couple of months ago. It seems like nothing's being done with it.
I don't either. That's why Mr. Reyes said he will check on it again. And then here's what we're going to do, Rudy. I want to, Mr. Reyes, please check on that again.
Yes, ma'am.
Rudy, keep your behavior level up. Placement is going to be your options for placement are going to be much greater and much better if your behavior level stays where it is now. Okay. And that's what I want, because the placement's going to give you the treatment. It's going to get you away from all these people. Your mom's going to be able to help cooperate with that too. And it's going to be so much better for you than just flat out going home and not getting treatment. I recall that from another detention hearing, Mom. When did that occur, when he brought the kids over to your house?
This is when he had the ankle monitor on this last time. He was only home for 3 days, and he cut it off. And that's when they stole out of my house, and that's when he picked up this new offense.
All right, Rudy, I'm going to keep you here. Let's check on you a week from today again. And I want to hopefully have answers to the placement search problem. I hope you understand, Rudy. I'm trying to keep you out of TJJD right now. Okay. Well.
So, Judge, you sit on the 17th?
I want Rudy to come back. I need to explain something to him. Please bring him back. What was that, Mr. Green?
The 17th, the detention hearing?
Yes, a week from today, yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Can't see him.
I think they're protecting Rudy because they've muted it.
Hey, hold on a second.
You know, Ms. Smith, if we could come up with a viable placement option, we could drop the trial, but.
Your Honor, you ready for the next kid?
No, I'm ready to have Rudy back for a minute.
Give me a minute, Your Honor. We've taken him down to his room.
Okay, thank you. I know.
Your Honor, we're not going to be able to get him back just at the moment.
Okay, we'll do Mr. Wright, and then Rudy can be back here. You can let Rudy know that I'm going to rescind my offer to come back in a week, or my order. I'll just change my order.
Here he comes, Your Honor.
Pardon?
Here he comes.
Okay. Hey, Rudy. I know you're mad, and what I wanted to tell you before you walked off, I didn't excuse you. 2, don't mess your behavior level up right now. I know you're angry. Do not let this mess up your behavior level, okay? I need you to work with me on this.
You did the same thing last week. You told me to stay level 1. You didn't even give me another week. I did 2 more. I've been level 1 for 2 weeks.
I know you've been level 1 for 2 weeks. I know that. So I had you come back.
I'm just sitting dead time. It's dead time sitting in here. Like, I'm waiting for placement, and no placement call me. My PO don't call me. My attorney doesn't call me. I don't get no news from nobody.
I understand, and that's why I've asked Mr. Reyes to follow up on that. And that's why I want to come.
Because he's mad at my mom.
Rudy, I don't think anyone's mad at your mom.
No, because my mom asked him for a supervisor so he doesn't call us no more.
Rudy, let's stop, okay?
We did the same deal last week.
Rudy, don't mess up your behavior level. I don't care if I keep you here a month. I'm going to tell you, there's some people that have been level 1 outstanding for longer than you, and they're just going to sit here. But I am trying to work with you right now, and you alone specifically, okay? Please don't mess this up. I'm trying to set you up. You are facing some serious stuff, and I'm trying to set you up for the best outcome possible, okay? Everyone here is trying to help you. Just keep that in mind, that my goal here in this court is not for purposes of punishing you. It is to rehabilitate you and help you, okay? That's what I'm trying to set up here. I need you to trust this process, okay? I've heard someone say Rudy's his own worst enemy. That's what you're doing right now, okay? I know you don't want to sit here. I don't want you here. but I also am protecting you from yourself by keeping you here right now.
Well, nobody's protecting me, bro.
Well, you know what, Rudy? I can just say we can come back in 2 weeks, but I don't want to do that.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to work with you.
No.
You need to stop with this. Keep your behavior level up, Rudy. Mr. Reyes is going to report back to the court on what the placement cert, what's going on with that. Okay, that's what we're going to do. But I have a plan for you, and I would like to see it work out. But you've got to do your part. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. You may be excused.
We dismiss, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Okay, so Jamal Wright. Okay, do we have a parent or guardian here for Mr. Wright?
Well, I test the parents to let them know, but I've not gotten a response. I just got.
Who is, okay, thank you, Mr. Edgy. Who is Cantrice McHenry?
Right here.
Okay, who are you here for?
Jacob Barber.
Well, these were set for 10:30 and he was second on the list, so you missed his hearing.
I was wondering if I did. My phone was turned off. I apologize.
Yeah, you missed his hearing. And ma'am, in the future, when you come to court, you have to not be laying down. You've got to be sitting up with your camera on, okay?
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we do not have a family for the next detention.
Okay. All right, thank you. Mr. Wright, I'm Judge Terry. This is your 10-day detention hearing. You have a right to have this hearing every 10 business days, and you know the purpose is to determine whether I should keep you here or if I can release you to a parent or guardian. You also have the right to remain silent, but if you do speak, nothing you say can be held against you at any other kind of proceeding. I can only consider it for detention purposes. You also have a right to have an attorney, and your attorney is Mr. Ferguson. I don't see him here today, so Ms. Julie Jacobson will be acting as your attorney today. Yes.
Oh, that's what I was going to explain, but you got caught on that. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was that, Mr. Adeniji?
I was going to explain why I'm here when
he's retained. Are you covering for him?
No, I'm not covering for him. I understand he was retained by the family, and come to find out there are new referrals, and Mr. Taylor was representing one of the defendant in the other referrals. So he has a conflict and he withdrew. Oh. So I got called this morning to get back on, I'm sure just like you said, probably for the detention hearing. And I was already communicated with the parents that this is what's going on in case they are not aware. So that they should be given time to go and look for another attorney who would not have a conflict.
Okay. So you're up again then, is that what you're saying? I
don't know that I'm up if the parents are able to retain another attorney. Okay. So I may be up for the detention hearing.
Yes. Well, that's what I mean, for the detention hearing only for you today, because Mr. Wright, you have a right to have an attorney, and Mr. Edeniji is going to be your attorney for today's purposes, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's see where we are with this. You've been level 1 outstanding for it since October 30th. So
and that's Judge, I will be making a request to release on condition of electronic monitoring pending the time all these issues are resolved.
Well, let's see here. So just over a week, he's been on level 2. This is just, or level 1, I mean. He's been accepted to Clarinda. Based on his progress with his REACH therapist, placement would be beneficial to allow him to continue addressing trauma and grief. So when is the placement supposed to take place, Ms. Cruz?
Just whenever we get approval, whenever this court situation is settled, we'll be able to proceed.
You have any, nothing is set for him, Mary?
Judge, my understanding before you retained Mr. Taylor was department is recommending placement, but the DA's office, they're not agreeing with that. So they are asking for TJJD time. So that's where we are when the parents decided they're gonna retain another attorney. So just to keep it updated.
Okay, and he set for November 23rd. This one's just.
And Judge?
Yes.
He just received new cases that were committed on May 8th. So we just received those last week.
Is this the one about the shots fired in Arlington, Texas, in the apartment complexes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's see.
Those referrals came in on the 3rd.
Okay, let me just go back here. Supervisory caution, waive, not true. Probation as of February of this year for assault, family member, impeding breath. Let's see. Consolidated probation for an unauthorized use of vehicle. That was on February 12th of this year also. Family violence, not true. Continuous violence against family, not true. And then a directive to apprehend. So you were on probation for 2 months. And then a DTA was issued. And then, let me see. It says on May 8th of this year, officers responded to shots fired and found at both sides of the duplex on Ventura in Arlington, Texas. The duplex, both sides sustained damage from projectiles, and that one of the victims in the duplexes had been hit by a projectile which grazed her right cheek. During the investigation, officers observed a silver 2008 Ford Explorer that had been listed as stolen out of Grand Prairie, attempted to make a traffic stop. All occupants of the vehicle fled on foot. Latent prints on the vehicle matched you. Officers located videos on social media and on your phone in which you were wearing clothing matching clothing of one of the suspects who fled from the stolen vehicle. Videos showed you with the gun and firing it out of the window of a vehicle. It's like video yourselves doing this stuff. On October 16th, officers obtained a statement from a suspect who had been identified by his prints also in the stolen vehicle. That suspect stated that you were the one in the car at the time of the shooting and that you fired your weapon at the duplex. The suspect further stated that at the time of the shooting, you were in dispute with the victim's son over a girl. Oh, so now things are coming to a head and you guys start snitching on each other. That's what's going on. So then let's see, a few days later, it says that you were referred into custody on May 11th of 2020 by Fort Worth PD for failure to ID, fugitive, intent to give false information, and a directive to apprehend issued by Judge Porter for runaway. According to the police report, officers received a call of a disturbance in which suspects jumped onto the victim's balcony and took items. Victim provided clothing descriptions of 2 suspects. While en route, officers received word that suspects were at a nearby gas station. The officers arrived on scene, and one of them identified himself as Jaquan Wright. Officers located a directive to apprehend warrant showing for a Jamal Wright, which matched the same last name and date of birth that the juvenile provided. Officer asked the suspect to provide an emergency contact number and he provided his sister's information. He contacted sister via telephone who provided mother's information, and then the officer contacted mother via telephone and informed her about the situation. She advised that her son's name was Jamal Wright and gave the date of birth. Officer concluded that you intentionally provided a fictitious first name. Let's see. You identified as a runway with the directive to apprehend, and later was confirmed that the warrant and removed him as a runway. Okay. And you were transferred to detention back in May. Does it make sense. Then it says on June 18th, you were referred before Fort Worth PD on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It says that on May 7th of 2020, officers responded to a call of shots fired. The victim was a UPS driver at the Autumn Chase Apartments. Okay, yeah, this is the one I knew about. When making a delivery, when a bullet came through his windshield and he took cover. Witness described 3 black males in a black BMW who arrived at the apartments at the front, and the front passenger began shooting at the complex with a handgun. The car was later found abandoned and had been reported stolen. Evidence in the vehicle led police to you. You posted photos on Instagram showing you and the other 2 suspects posing in and on the car with guns. You're identified by police as a gang member, and they believe the shooting is related to a gang war. Wow, that was just the day before. And then on the 8th, you allegedly were involved in another drive-by shooting. And then on the 11th, this was going onto the balcony and taking people's stuff, they're saying. 7th, 8th. You're right. One thing is for sure, someone's got to get a hold of you and get you out of that life before you end up in the ground, or you end up putting somebody in the ground and where there's no discussion anymore about trying to help you. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
When's he set for, you said, Mary? November 23rd. November 23rd. And there's no parent or guardian here, is that right?
She was sent the link to log in, but she was having some challenges with it, and I tried to explain to her, but she couldn't get in.
May I say something?
If it's about the offenses, then I wouldn't say anything if I were you, but other than that, I don't mind. If you don't mind, Mr. Adenishi?
Yes, Judge.
Go ahead, sir.
I was told that my next court date was set for December 23rd, and that I've now been level 1 for 20 days.
It's November 23rd. November 23rd, right, Mary? Okay. So it's really in just a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks.
At this point, that may change because of the new referral, depending on what the DA decide whether to file the petitions or not.
That may change. And now the fact that I've figured out that people are starting to snitch gives me great concern for you and other people if I were to release you. Because I know that you guys are wrapped up in this place where, you know, you guys think you have to do something about that. But you don't. So Mr. Wright, what I want to do, you've been level 1 outstanding for almost 2 weeks. I need you to stay there because the state wants to send you to TJJD. They're done. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
These offenses, these alleged offenses you have this year, you could have easily put someone in the ground. Okay? And so this is, I mean, level 1 outstanding is just like, should be a given. You should be like, just, what I'm saying is that just the serious nature of these offenses, that can't be the only thing I consider is just your behavior level, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But I tell you, it will come into play whenever your final hearing is. I need you to stay there. I am concerned just because of your documented gang involvement and your history and the serious nature of this, that you will end up out there reoffending, because it seems right now at your young age, that's all you know. Or somebody will get to you and hurt you. So I need you to stay on level 1 outstanding, and so we can just to optimize, keep you safe, keep the community safe, and to optimize your outcome for the best positive outcome for you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I am going to keep you detained because I'm concerned for the community safety, your safety, and I'm concerned that you may be on your way to TJJD. I don't know. I hope not, but I hope there's some other way to get to you and get you on the right path.
Yes, ma'am.
But keeping you here and giving you the chance to show everybody that you can stay on good behavior is part of me trying to help you. So I'm going to keep you detained.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Am I free to go, Judge?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, do not bring in the next juvenile at this time.
I can leave.
Oh, of course they did. I'm putting in the waiting room. I mean, you guys have the same list and you know the child's age. This time, Texas Family Code says that if the child is under the age of 14, the court shall close the hearing to the public unless the court finds that, I put him in the waiting room for a reason. Unless the court finds that the interest of the child of the public would better be served by opening the hearing to the public, the court cannot make that finding with this child in this case. And so I do have to turn off the live stream to YouTube.